I want to give you the background to this film. We are a group of African migrant mothers who have children with additional needs. We have been involved in a research project with Solent NHS Trust. The purpose of the project was to share our lived experiences of accessing NHS services on behalf of our children. We did this in a creative way via the use of slam poetry. Slam poetry is performance poetry, and we really enjoyed sharing our thoughts with the NHS staff who were in the audience. After the slam event, we held focus groups with NHS social work staff and allies, and we collaboratively decided to co-produce this cultural toolkit through the medium of an animated film. Our hope is that the insights we're about to share will be used as a cultural toolkit by the NHS to enable staff to improve engagement with some of the African families they work with, so that together we can help to produce culturally equitable services which will enhance the experience of care for African families who are accessing NHS services.
There's a lot of unconscious bias and micro behaviors that one experiences as a form of stigma. It's often difficult to put into words. I'm either being seen as the passive Black woman and nothing gets done, or I'm being seen as the aggressive Black woman, and again, nothing gets done.
There were 6 main group themes that came from our collective poems. We'll take you through them one by one. The first theme was faith. Most of the mothers in this study cited faith as being important. We want NHS staff to feel okay with asking us about our faith.
In everything I do, I pray. I pray before I work, pray before my daughter's exams. I pray in everything I do. I will be happy for NHS staff to ask me about my religious beliefs. It will show me that they are interested, and it might make me more open.
It's important to note that not every African parent will want to discuss faith and religion, and there may be families that have no faith beliefs. Don't assume that all African families are the same. The best advice we can give is to gently inquire first. People will soon let you know if their faith or non-faith is a no-go area. Try asking a tentative question such as, do you and your family have a faith?
I'd like you to support my faith and religious beliefs in assessments. I do affirmations in the mornings as it sets the tone for the day. I am a child of God. I can shine wherever I go.
The second theme was cultural curiosity. When therapists give advice on food, please remember that we may be incorporating our own foods into our children's diet. Show interest in the types of food we eat by asking curious questions such as, I note some African families eat yams with stew, which sounds delicious. Could you tell me more about how you would cook yams and stew, as I'm interested to learn more?
You're telling me to give her cottage pie and fish fingers, but I really want to feed her poundo and jollof rice. The food choices are just not broad enough.
The third theme was communication. We need improved communication between us and NHS staff. Don't keep referring to us by saying English is not our first language. In many parts of Africa, we are taught English as a first language, and we speak English at school and in our homes. However, what is not taught is medical jargon.
It's very frustrating when you're trying your best to get the right words out to explain the situation. There seems to be a lack of empathy because after trying to explain my child's needs, you just get medical jargons thrown at you, which is not helpful.
This research has also taught us that we have a part to play in increasing our confidence, which could help us improve our communication in terms of asking for specific help we need from NHS services.
The fourth theme was reducing the barriers to access to care. The NHS have a responsibility to reduce the barriers we face in accessing healthcare.
For some reason, Black women have more hoops than the average white woman to jump through. Sometimes, when I'm making a health appointment on the phone, I feel like people hear the accent and just fob me off.
NHS staff may require training on microaggressions or reflections on how staff can readdress power imbalances between patients' families and their carers so that they can too become equal partners in shared decision-making.
The most subtle microaggression is with my GP. He makes it so hard for me to get medication for my son, even when I know he needs it. When our needs have been met, I feel very happy. I feel settled and at peace. There's no commotion, and we're cool like that.
The fifth theme was the need for increased signposting. There are so many ways the NHS could help us regarding signposting, especially for things such as advice about immigration law and how it can affect us in accessing things for our families. Signposting to local support groups like Mariah Family Support, where we can meet parents who are like us, is also really helpful.
I've been researching things myself. This makes me feel bad. It's sad and I feel abandoned, like people are not even trying to meet his needs. I feel so disappointed and frustrated. If his needs were being met, I'd be so happy and joyful.
When your child gets diagnosed, especially if you're living in this country, the news can hit you hard. You're at a loss of what to do next, and you're simultaneously trying to balance the news against the backdrop of your own family, faith, possible stigma, and cultural beliefs.
Maybe if I had taken multivitamins. Maybe if I hadn't delayed in having the C-section. What if I hadn't taken that 30 minutes? What if I'd made a different decision? Would it be different now? There's always that what ifs.
The sixth theme was looking beyond the medical need. If families are living in properties that are not suitable for their child, this will affect everything. In some organisations, they call it system thinking. We just call it looking at the bigger picture.
NHS staff just need to look beyond the health needs and see if the child is truly comfortable in their environment. If not, they can help by adding their voice to our plea.
We hope this film has given you some pointers on how NHS staff can work together with African families to improve engagement and their experiences of care. We believe that some of the themes and tips we have shared will benefit other marginalised groups and help to reduce health inequality in NHS services.